If you are tired of feeling like you're never enough, if you are tired of chasing a love that can't quite choose you back, if you are tired of settling for less and keeping yourself small just to be accepted, then this is a conversation you want to be a part of. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, put in that cup whatever it is that you need to feel comfortable, because this conversation, and if you haven't noticed yet, is about self-love. It's about the importance of self-love, and it is a conversation that you want to be a part of. Hi, I'm Riselle. I'm a podcast host at Paradise Perspectives Podcast. I'm also a retreat leader, a motivational speaker, and a coach. So if you've never heard of me before, then welcome to the tribe. I am so happy that you have made yourself available to be a part of our chat today. Now, self-love. It all started for me about 3 years ago, where I found myself at the lowest point of my life. And that was when my marriage ended, or I thought it ended. I found out something that my husband did, and I think by now you can probably kind of imagine what that was. And I felt so low. I was so broken, so depressed, so anxious, but I made a decision that has changed my life forever. In that moment is when I decided that I was gonna walk away from this marriage and I was going to finally choose me. So I did that. I walked away and I hold myself up in this new place that I got for myself, and I locked the doors and the windows, and I sat by myself and I started to do the healing that I needed to do. Because I realized in that moment that for everything to change the way I wanted it to change, that meant that I had to change. I had to start working on some deeply rooted BS that I had in my life. So some generational trauma, some other stuff that I really needed to work through, because before what happened between my husband and I, there has been numerous other relationships where I wasn't treated very nicely, where I wasn't accepted. I was in friendships that wasn't really kind of respecting me. I was in positions and situations where I had to keep myself small, put on this mask just to be accepted. And I was done trying all of that. I was finally choosing myself. And let me tell you something, the moment I made that decision and the moment I started to work on myself, I realized this one big thing. What if the life or the love actually that I have been chasing, the validation that I've been looking for, the happiness that I was really seeking, and the respect that I wanted from others, what if I started to give that to myself? And in this whole process, I was watching something on YouTube, and I think it was YouTube, and I saw this person say it in such a beautiful way. He said, go within so you can go without. Meaning that when you start giving yourself the love, the validation, the respect that you are chasing all of your life, that you have been chasing all of your life, when you start giving that to yourself, you're gonna realize that you no longer need it from anybody else or anything else, because it's already within you. And that for me has changed everything. So here's the truth about self-love. It is not bubble baths and spa appointments and doing nice things for yourself. All that is really nice and all, but that is self-care, which is different. Also important, but it's not the same. Self-love, real self-love, not a self-love that you just tell yourself that you love yourself, not that. The real self-love is deep, it's intense. It is setting boundaries. It is being honest with yourself. It is saying no to situations and people that you don't want to say no to all the time because you are afraid of losing them. It is respecting yourself. It is changing that belief that you are not worthy, that you are not lovable, and that you cannot get respect from anywhere, that you are not validated. It is changing that belief system, that narration in your head to something more positive. It is choosing yourself over and over again, even when it's really hard to do so. That is self-love. And when you make this realization and when you start realizing that you have all of this love already within you and all of those things that you're looking for, you know what happens? Everything changes. Everything opens up. So let's go through some of the benefits of self-love, shall we? Number one, you're going to stop begging for crumbs. You are no longer going to chase love from someone who cannot chase you in return. You are no longer going to settle for less. You are no longer going to accept situations or people that are not serving you. You are going to do that also from a situation of peace and not pain. You are going to make all of these decisions on your own without having to question all of that. That is one of those big benefits. That is number one of so many of the great benefits of loving yourself deeply. Number two, you're gonna attract better because your whole standard rises, your whole frequency levels up, and everyone and everything around you has now have to rise up to meet you at that frequency. That's another one of those great benefits of self-love. Number three, you stop tolerating bullshit. You are no longer accepting things that are not serving you, but you are also now laying down boundaries, and you are not accepting for those boundaries to be crossed. You are not the person that's going to accept bullshit anymore. Your no is a definite no. Point, done, period. Not, oh, I can't because no. If you're not feeling like doing something, if you don't want to be around a certain person, a no is going to be said, and you are going to have no problem saying no to other people and to things that you want to say no to. Because you got to remember also that sometimes when you say no, a lot of times that means you're saying yes to yourself. Number four, you glow different. You start walking into rooms differently. You start walking differently. You're going to start to look different. You're going to start to glow. There's this thing about you, this confidence that you kept hidden within yourself for so long. It's going to come out and you're going to glow even better than you have ever glowed before. Number five, you start feeling safe within yourself because you are no longer chasing anything around. You are no longer seeking happiness in things and people. You feel this safety, this peace, and that is nothing bigger and better than that. You're no longer running around, driving yourself crazy about why you can't be loved the way you want to be loved by a certain person, or in situations, why aren't you being respected? Why aren't you validated? You stop asking yourself all of those questions because it doesn't matter, because you know now that you can give it all to yourself. And there's so much peace in that. And number six, you get to create a life that you absolutely adore. And that is where I am today. I went from broken, depressed, anxious to now waking up happy to be living a life that I absolutely adore. And believe me, if I am able to do that, then so can you. Now, to get to actually really love yourself, there's a lot that has to be said about it, and also a lot that needs to be done by you in order for you to get to that point. But there is one tiny thing that you can do starting today, starting right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. What is one thing that you can do right now? One of those things is perhaps saying no to something that you didn't feel like you wanted to do. Perhaps you want to start by laying down one small boundary today. Perhaps you want to tell yourself in the mirror that you love yourself, or look at yourself in the mirror and pick one thing that you absolutely adore about your face, about maybe it's your hair, your eyelashes, I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, tell yourself you love that about yourself. Or perhaps one thing that you can do is do something for you before you even begin to think about doing something for someone else. What is that one thing that you can do for you today? Now, if you want to go into more of this self-love, I am hosting my first real in-person self-love experience. I'm calling it an experience because it's not a masterclass, it's not a workshop, it's not a session. It is so much deeper than that. You get to be in a room full with women who are ready to elevate, who are ready to accept themselves, and who are ready to love themselves unconditionally. And that is something that I cannot even put in words when you're in a room like that. So now you have the opportunity as well, because on November 30th, I am hosting that experience right here on my home island of St. Martin. So if you happen to be living on the island like I am, or you happen to be visiting around November 30th, 2025, then this is your opportunity. Make sure that you grab one of those 10 spots available to be in a room with me and others, and we are going to love the heck out of ourselves that day. So I know perhaps you're watching this video after November 30th, 2025. In that case, not to worry, you can always contact me for a private one-on-one, and I can help you start living a life that you absolutely love and loving yourself in the process too. All right, so how do you get in contact with me? That's very easy. You can send me an email. You can send it to hello@thetravelingislandgirl.com. You can get all of the information about this self-love experience. You can find it in the description of this video. So if you are ready for some major breakthroughs and some really good vibes, then be part of the self-love experience. And before I let you go, I want to leave you with this. You are the love of your life. So start acting like it. Start treating yourself like it. And when you do, you're gonna notice that everything around you, the world around you changes. It rises up to meet your frequency. It is about time that you fall deeply, madly, and finally in love with yourself. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you come back to one of my other videos. My name is Riselle. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Mwah. Have a great day.